Well, what is that? What is the good D? What does good D rank on a level of things that has the most leverage to keep a woman in a relationship? I know finance is probably going to be number one, but what is good D?
I don't know if most women operate like this, but I was gonna say, so of course when I met my husband, he was broke. He was in college, right? So he didn't have anything. We met in college. I was 18. I wasn't, he wasn't my first, right? But what was different, I'll say, with him, it was two things. First thing is I said this on Friday, that I'm very thankful that he was a man that of righteousness, because he could have had me doing whatever he wanted. And the reason was because he had one, I hadn't I hadn't learned who I was yet, right? What 18-year-old know who they are, right? So that was one thing on me. And when you don't if you're unable to define yourself, you leave the door open to have others define you. But I'm thankful that he was a person that, that did not take advantage of me the way that he probably could have. And the reason is because it wasn't because the D was good, although that was the bonus. It was the fact that he got my mind first. I was able to get like experience conversation, experience things with him that I never, on a different level than I hadn't, right? And so because of that, then when you follow up the mental with the physical aspect, then I think that's typically what keeps a woman around. So they can say it's the D, but it's more than just the D. It's something about them that they are attracted to and that they like, but they may not necessarily be getting more than just the sex from them. So they put it on the sex.
So if he was bad, but all those other things applied.
Uh-oh.
I'm leaving.
Oh.
Say what?
I ain't gonna lie.
If
all of the
he had your mental, everything was good. He had your mind. He was speaking to your soul.
Out of there. Sorry.
But if it was,
sorry.
If
anybody that say different is they
yeah, Cookie, let me cook. But if it was Cookie, let me cook. But he came in and it was just a bad experience. Like he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Are you saying that you would be like, he really spoke to my soul? So would y'all be here today?
I would say yes, because I didn't have anything to compare it to. I was able to say, dang, this is some good stuff, just based on the minimal experience that I had prior to him.
Better than the last.
Hold on. So you saying you stated that he was broke originally, and now Sweeney is saying not only was he broke, he didn't have good. Do you saying you would still stay?
Well, it wouldn't have been for the D. It would have been something else that he was providing for me.
You get in there for a second. Go ahead, Cookie.
You understand what I'm saying?
No.
What I'm saying.
Wait, let me just be able to explain. What part don't you understand, Smee?
All right. So no, I get why you. I'll get why you, because bad D was never on the table. Actually, I'm saying he was broke. If he was broke, like you said, he had all those other things, but bad D was also on the table. Are y'all here today?
If he had my mind, then probably. If he had my mind, no, listen. I would definitely say if he had he did have my mind and he was broke. And so, I mean,
how does he get to your mind without?
But if he was bad in bed,
because what I was looking for in a partner at that time, and even now, we typically look for other people to fulfill things for us that we may lack or didn't have, right? So for me, my issue wasn't a physical thing that I needed from him. Mine was more of an emotional connection. So he was able to connect with me on an emotional and mental level. And
Yo,
because
Sweeney,
of that,
believer, that's
Hold on,
tough.
wait,
That's
wait,
right.
wait. Hold on, wait.
it's
I
tough.
believe
Hold
you.
on, let me just say this. I'm gonna let you go. That's tough for an 18-year-old man to be able to get to a woman's mind without money or D. That's wow.
No, actually, you know what's crazy? I think this is the tripped out part. Because one of the things that she also said that contributed to that was lack of experience. She didn't have nobody else to really compare it to say, oh, this, which kind of speaks to, because I think a lot of men can speak
That's
to women's
critical.
souls. I think a lot of men have the capability of being able to talk to your soul. But if you tack on the experiences that they have with other men,
They've been tampered with. Yeah.
we might have a different
His
conversation.
thinking wasn't tampered with. That's why he was able to get to her mind, which also strengthens the arguments of the body count and of being able to be sexually experienced and the imprints of another man. And that's why it's more important. So whenever y'all ask this question, why does my body count matter? Miss Taken just gave y'all the whole freaking formula to it. If you haven't been tampered with, a man doesn't have to use his money or his D to get emotionally connected with you in a way that where the relationship could be more substantial.
Like I
And quick
admitted
question.
I was
That's
not a
not
virgin
true.
though when I met him.
Hold on.
So
No,
I
you
wasn't
don't
a
have to be
virgin
a
when I
virgin.
Hold on, y'all, because we got One Country and Jay got a question. Go ahead, One Country and Jay.
All I was saying was somebody brought up horrible D. Okay. And what I was saying is I'm not spending the rest of my life, no matter how many bodies I done had, with horrible D. Now, just because it don't take several D's to know that you're not climaxing. So throw that body count shit out the window real quick. The fact of the matter is, if you don't feel good when it's over, or he pull it out and you like, excuse me, I'm not spending the rest of my life with him. I don't care what he doing. I'm not doing that. Women, if y'all sacrificing the rest of y'all lives and y'all body and you cooking and cleaning and you sexually miserable, you're going
Okay,
to
let me ask you a
resent
question.
that man. Leave that man if it
I'll let
ain't
Jay
good.
question.
I'm sorry. Why are
Let
we
me
sitting
answer this
here
one
acting
question
like
real
that's
quick.
bad? I'm just telling the truth.
Cookie, how many partners did you have from zero up before you started recognizing that it was bad sex?
don't ever answer that.
No,
I'm
no,
not. I wasn't gonna answer. Okay, wait. From
no, I'm
when?
not trying to ask you.
You're not asking body count.
I'm not asking your body count. I'm asking how many partners did you have? Was it before you recognized that sex was actually bad? Where it was everything was going well, you was okay with it, everything was cool. How many partners did you have before you recognized this ain't it?
2.
Or that wasn't it?
2.
So it took two people for you to. So the first person was doing relatively okay in your mind. Then the second person
Right.
came around and you was like, oh, this is better. Maybe that last one wasn't as great as I thought it was.
That's who she should have stayed with.
Absolutely not. No, I shouldn't have.
We're gonna go ahead and get Jay. Let's get Jay in there real quick. But
Yeah, no, I just wanted to ask, mistaken. Y'all were both in college. I know you kept saying he was broke 18. Y'all were both in college.
Yeah, I was a freshman and he was a senior.
Okay, so
We're
y'all were both.
actually.
So y'all were both broke.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think now is different because with social media access, you can contact or reach out to anybody. Back at that time when you're both at essentially ground zero, I mean, I think it's different. But I mean, in regards to sex, I mean, or it's relative. You know what I mean? Everybody has a different definition of what good is and what good isn't, based on, like Sweeney and Darwin was saying, experiences.
Wish y'all had married y'all wives if she was dry.
That's a man problem when a woman getting dry, bro. You can't get her wet. Well, that's a problem. I think it's a
Nah,
mutual problem.
that's not necessarily true.
That's
That's
what I'm
not.
saying. I'm correcting myself. I think it's a mutual thing.
I'm just asking.
I mean, you agree that it's a mutual thing that if she dries up on you,
Oh, I agree
It
with
could be a
that.
medical thing.
Oh, shit.
I can tell you this though, Cookie.
That's where I was going with it.
The first girl that I was with wasn't the greatest person, but in that moment, did I feel like, oh man, this was some whack ass sex? No, shit, everything was great in my eyes at that moment.
I'm talking about after y'all knew
How like
what
if
it
everything is
should
great in
feel
my
like.
mind, but that means that I would have to have something else to compare that to because at that moment I was completely happy with what I was getting.
No, I'm talking about like at later in life, like your wives. You can't tell me that you weren't experienced before you got married. Were you not? Were you a virgin?
No, I'm was experienced, but you're asking it as if we're okay. If she had dry whatever, but that comes with experience. But if I married the first person that I ever had sex with, I probably wouldn't have cared. Like it would probably
No,
be
absolutely not. No, I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
So I'm just trying to get an understanding. So how good the sex is more important than being with a person for the rest of your life.
No, it's a package deal, JR.
Yeah, but we were asking on a hierarchy, from greatest to most important to least important. What is the good D rank? Is it number one, number two?
It's just part of the package, man.
I would
I mean,
say
because the reason why I asked that, and I'm gonna let y'all maybe get Luis in after me, and then we'll come back around to mistaken. But the reason why I asked that is because, unfortunately, yeah, I could be wrong, right? But I think most married folks experience some type of different experiences the older you get. Like somebody falls off eventually, and then when they fall off, then what do you have? So when you place this much value on sex, it's starting to make me think like it would probably be scary for a man to go all the way, even when we talk about marriage and commitment, if he has this mindset that I have to make sure I keep putting it down, even well into my 70s, because from what I know, I think women have a higher sex drive for the most part. I don't have these numbers, but based off my experience, what I see, I think women typically go longer. And I start to hear a lot more men having discussions about them having troubles of stepping up to the plate. So if that is the case, whether the woman gets dry or the man he can't deliver, put it down, then like where does that leave y'all as far as the commitment that you guys have?
At some point, ain't we throwing in the towel? Like if we done made the kids and
I
No,
mean,
this is the thing. If you're built on that primarily, when that subsides or it's not what it once was, or medical
that's
issues,
the end of your relationship. Is that the end?
is it the end of your relationship? So you could have this guy that's Superman in the
no.
bed.
well, that's kind of hard to really. It's kind of hard for us to believe you because you saying that it's a package deal.
No,
That
I'm talking
they
about
have
from
to.
the jump, from the beginning.
I mean, but
Y'all
from the
talking
jump, I mean,
about
but
now y'all trying to
anything,
make me seem
right?
like a villain because I told the
But
truth.
anything,
That's not gonna
but
happen.
no, I 100% believe you, right? And I believe that there are a lot. I'm not going to say most, but there are a lot of people that think the same way. But as we having these discussions, because this is a real life discussion, I know we avoid talking about sex, but if it's all about the people that we bring to the table to have this discussion, we have to start thinking about the mindset moving forward as far as like what are we basing our relationships, our marriages, our commitments off of? Because if you leave with that saying I got experience, if it ain't good in the beginning, then I'm gone. Could you potentially have lost a good partner?
If we've done everything and I've taught you and tried with you and you still trash, no. Now, if I know that back in the day you was banging it down and something physically happens to you as an older man, it goes from his job to make me ready to my job to make him ready. And if it's still something physically wrong with him, we work with that. We work on that. We just hang up the towel, which I would have absolutely no problem
So
doing
when
at
do
the
you
age of
hang it up? Because
65.
I thought when you talk about commitment, this is something that you willing to, if you gonna look at this person as somebody you want to commit to in a long term relationship. I think that is something that you continuously work on. You
That's
know,
what I'm
You
saying.
work
Like,
through.
yeah, but
you
not
work
if
through
you.
it
I'm
and
talking
you
about in the early stages of getting ready to commit to what level of commitment are we on?
I
Because
mean, but I mean, some may argue like, why you even experiencing before marriage? You know, like why aren't y'all focusing on mentally connecting? Because sometimes when you mentally connect, like there's a level that I don't think that most people have ever reached, and they probably will not reach when it comes to true like intimacy, right? And most of us are just now starting to hear it. Some folks may have experienced it, and some just haven't willing to give it a try. But when you mentally are connected, it's different. And I believe even if there was the potential of something that could come in between, that could halt or step in between y'all sexual getting sexually satisfied, that if y'all like hitting it there, it may take y'all in places. It may not even got to be all the way. Just him sitting inside might just be enough. I don't know, but I'm just saying, if y'all are at that level of intimacy that a lot of folks haven't reached yet, you guys may be able to endure and maybe have a longer lasting relationship. And you may not be so focused on the physical of what it's doing. I mean, it could be other ways that you may be able to get stimulated in the event that you guys run into this problem.
absolutely, my whole argument was somebody posed a question about Bad D. I believe it was Darwin. And he said, he asked Miss Taken about that. And I said, at that age, finding a husband and we're actively having sex before marriage, this is understood. And he was doing all this and doing all of that. Would I stay if the D was bad? I would not marry no man if the D was bad. We would never get that far. That's what I'm saying. It has to be a whole package for me for us to even get to the altar. Does
So
that
you can
do
get
y'all understand that?
I understand it, but it's a contradiction. You can get the tip in, but you ain't willing to do the work later.